Ever feel that chill down your spine when you're all alone? That whisper of a presence you can't quite see? Well, some places hold on to those feelings a little tighter than others. Today, we're embarking on a global ghost hunt, counting down 10 of the most haunted places on Earth. So, turn down the lights, get comfortable, and let's dive into the shadows. Our first stop is Poveglia Island, just off the coast of Venice, Italy. It sounds picturesque, but its history is anything but. This tiny island served as a quarantine station during the bubonic plague, where thousands of victims were sent to live out their final, agonizing days. Their bodies were burned in giant pits, and it's said their ashes are still mixed in with the soil. Later, a mental hospital was built on the island, where a cruel doctor reportedly performed twisted experiments on patients before meeting his own mysterious end. Visitors today report hearing disembodied screams, seeing shadowy figures, and feeling an overwhelming sense of dread. The Italian government has banned public access, leaving Poveglia to its tormented spirits. Next, we travel to the United States, to the Myrtles Plantation in St. Francisville, Louisiana. This beautiful antebellum home is considered one of America's most haunted. The most famous ghost is Chloe, an enslaved girl whose story is shrouded in tragedy and folklore. Legend says she was punished for eavesdropping and, in a misguided attempt to win back favor, accidentally poisoned the master's wife and 2 daughters. She was then hanged by fellow enslaved people. Visitors and staff have captured what they believe as Chloe's apparition in photographs, and many report seeing children's handprints on mirrors, even after they've just been cleaned. The sounds of a phantom piano and unexplained footsteps are common occurrences, making a stay here a truly chilling experience. Let's cross the globe to Bangar Fort in Rajasthan, India. This 17th century fortress is so notoriously haunted that the Archaeological Survey of India has legally prohibited anyone from entering between sunset and sunrise. There are 2 main legends. One tells of a powerful holy man who allowed the fort to be built on the condition that its shadow never touches home. When a prince ignored the warning, the holy man cursed the entire town to ruin. The other tale speaks of a sorcerer who fell in love with the beautiful princess of Bang. When she rejected his magical attempts to win her affection, he cursed the fort, leading to its violent downfall in a subsequent battle. Locals believe the spirits of those who died still wander the ruins, forever trapped by the ancient curse. Now, we head to the Tower of London in England, with over 900 years of history filled with torture, execution, and imprisonment. It's no surprise this place is crawling with ghosts. The most famous spectral resident is Anne Boleyn, the second wife of King Henry VIII, who was beheaded here in 1536. Her headless apparition has been seen walking near the Tower Green, the site of her execution, sometimes carrying her own head. Another tragic figure is the White Lady, believed to be Arbella Stewart, a cousin of Queen Elizabeth I, who was imprisoned and died in the tower. Her ghost is said to haunt the Queen's house, and some gods have reported a strange, overpowering perfume before a spirit appears. From a royal prison to a former penitentiary, our next location is Eastern State Penitentiary in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. When it was built in 1829, its system of solitary confinement was revolutionary, intended to inspire Instead, it drove many inmates to madness. The prison was a brutal place, and its long, decaying cell blocks now echo with a history of suffering. Visitors on tours often report hearing disembodied whispers, seeing shadowy figures darting down corridors, and the sound of cell doors slamming shut on their own. The ghost of notorious gangster Al Capone, who was once an inmate here, is said to haunt his old cell, Cell Block 12. It is a place where the despair of thousands seems to have been permanently etched into the walls. Let's journey to the Aokigahara Forest in Japan, also known as the Sea of Trees. Located at the base of Mount Fuji, this dense, dark forest has a deeply sorrowful reputation. For decades, it has been a location where many have chosen to end their lives. The forest's eerie silence due to the dense trees blocking wind and wildlife is unsettling on its own. But visitors report a profound sense of sadness, feeling unseen eyes watching them from the trees, and hearing phantom whispers. It's believed that the spirits of those who died here, known as Yurei, linger among the trees, filled with regret and sorrow. Authorities have placed signs with supportive messages throughout the forest, encouraging people to seek help. Bike to Europe, we find ourselves in the catacombs of Paris, France. Beneath the romantic city streets lies a dark, macabre labyrinth holding the remains of over 6 million people. In the late 18th century, Paris's cemeteries were overflowing, so the authorities decided to move the bones to the city's ancient limestone quarries. The result is a 200-mile network of tunnels, with walls artfully, yet grimly, decorated with skulls and femurs. As you can imagine, this place is ripe for paranormal activity. Visitors have reported being touched by unseen hands, hearing disembodied voices whispering in their ears, and seeing strange lights and orbs. Some even claim to have been followed by shadowy figures, only to turn around and find nothing there. It's a chilling reminder of the city's hidden history. Our 8th stop takes us to Port Arthur in Tasmania, Australia. This former penal colony was once known as Hell on Earth. From 1833 to 1877, it was the destination for the most hardened British and Irish convicts. The conditions were horrific, and the psychological torment, especially in the separate prison, was immense. Today, the beautifully preserved historic site is a hotbed of paranormal activity, with over 2,000 documented ghostly encounters. Common sightings include the Lady in Blue, a crying woman who searches for her lost baby, and the ghost of a menacing reverend who haunts the parsonage. Ghost tours are a popular attraction, and many visitors leave with their own stories of cold spots, strange noises, and fleeting apparitions. Next, we visit the Fairmont Banff Springs Hotel in Alberta, Canada. This stunning castle in the Rockies may look like a fairy tale, but it hides some spooky secrets. One of its most famous ghosts is the bride, who is said to have tragically fallen down the marble staircase on her wedding day in the 1920s. Guests and staff have reported seeing her ghostly figure in a wedding dress, dancing alone in the ballroom or walking the very staircase where she met her end. Another permanent resident is Sam the Bellman, a helpful employee who worked at the hotel for decades and reportedly promised to return after his death in 1975. Guests still report a friendly, elderly bellman in an old-fashioned uniform helping them with their bags, only for him to vanish into thin air. Finally, we arrive at our last, and perhaps most disturbing location. The Island of the Dolls, or Isla de las Muñecas, in Mexico, tucked away in the canals of Xochimilco. This small island is covered in hundreds of old, decaying dolls hanging from trees. The story goes that the island's former caretaker, Don Julian Santana Barrera, found the body of a young girl who had drowned in the canal. Shortly after, he found a doll floating nearby, which he hung from a tree as a sign of respect. Haunted by the girl's spirit, he spent the next 50 years collecting and hanging dolls all over the island to appease her. In Lancenlin, Don Julian was found drowned in the very same spot where he said he found the girl. Visitors today claim the doll's eyes follow them, and that they hear whispers and giggles coming from the lifeless figures. From cursed forts to tragic islands, the world is full of places where the past refuses to stay buried. Whether you're a skeptic or a believer, these stories remind us that some corners of our world hold mysteries we may never fully understand. What do you think? Have you ever visited a haunted place? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for joining me on this spooky journey around the globe. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bell so you don't miss our next adventure into the unknown. And stay curious and stay safe. See you next time.